Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you're watching this from. And this is just going to be a talk on paths. All right. So, in life, as we know, just like how I always start my videos with, our talks, we all have our own paths in this life. You know, like I said, in my past talks about destiny, and my past talk about dreams, about your passions. We all have our own likings, our own dreams, our own, you know, vision of life that we want to achieve. And that in turn sets us down a path, certain path that will eventually lead us to the dream or the goal that we're trying to achieve, right? But actually, I want to talk about the journey to on that path, the road going to that goal. Because the wise man once said, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And I think along the way to your set goal, you're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to go through a lot of things. You're going to go through a lot of growing pains, growth as a person, as an individual. And this path may be dark at times. This path may be a real joyride for you. It all depends. Uh, because just like life, this path is a roller coaster. There's gonna be highs and lows and ups and downs and a lot of rough patches and a lot of, smooth sailing along the way. But eventually, your paths are, you know, a road, basically a road. And as we know, roads, they have intersections, they have, U-turns, they have roundabouts, they have all these different, variations of roads, which either will lead you moving forward, going around, taking a step back, or colliding with someone else. And I actually want to talk about all those parts of that. So first, the one thing that I would like to talk about is let's go with the U-turn. Going back to a certain moment in your life. Let's say you got to take a U-turn, maybe to fix some stuff. To go back, try to fix up some loose ends, try to fix up some past scars that haven't been healed yet. And you just gotta step back, revisit that time or stage in life, or maybe you just wanna, go back to relive some memories, just so that you know uh, you'll eventually be able to then move on, completely move on from it, and not completely leave it behind, but carry it with you. Because at times, some of us can't bear to just take on that thing with us, or let go of that thing where it is without, reliving it, maybe through old pictures, through old memories, and stuff like that. So we have to do that sometimes. So that's the said U-turn that I was trying to refer to. And now that we're done with that, we go back straight to the path, directly moving forward, and you reach a roundabout with a lot of different turns, a lot of different, you know, paths to go to that will diverge you from your original path, but will eventually lead you to the same path again. You'll just take a detour or something. And I would say I would categorize these as sub chapters in our life, like I say, like, the roundabouts here, they have exit one, exit two, exit three, and exit four. So let's say there are four exits and you go through all four of them. These are all four sub chapters to your quote unquote whole story. And these sub chapters may be, adventures, explorations, different hobbies that you might that you might want to try out, self exploration, trying to find out what is it that you really want to do in life, trying to find out who you are as a person and who you want to become in the future. And overall, just finding that sense of clarity in where do you want to go, what you want to do, and who do you want to become. So there's four paths there. They're basically sub stories to developing just basically you, developing you. to the person you're meant to be so that you can keep moving forward. And yeah. And lastly, I would like to talk about the intersection. Now, the intersection is not so much you diverging or intersecting with yourself. Maybe, maybe it could be yourself. Sometimes that's the case for some of us. No, we stop ourselves. We intersect with our own, let's say, thoughts, our own doubts, and all that. But what I'm talking about in terms of intersection is intersecting with somebody else's path. All right. So as we know, along the way, we don't just walk towards our goal, just by ourselves. We meet certain people along the way, and that's what I mean by intersecting. You intersect with somebody else's path, and you meet them in that crossroad where you get to know a certain someone, be it a friend, maybe a family member who you haven't talked with in a while, and yeah, and once again, your path diverges from the 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 place where you were supposed to be going, which is straight into another road that takes a lot of twists and turns, and it's a completely other sub story again. That develops yourself as a character and maybe develops the person that you intersected with. Your past intersected with. So you both develop as people, and in return, once you go back to your said destined path, you're a fully developed human being, and you're ready for whatever you know is there for you at the end of the road. But I would like to dive more on that part actually, where you know you diverge with someone because not only do you develop yourself as a character, but you get to know that certain person as well. And sometimes these people don't just come and go. you know, some of them stay for a lifetime. Some of them stay for a few chapters. Some of them stay for a minute. Some of them stay for a while. And even if they don't, necessarily physically stay with you, or let's say communicate with you at all, this is where it this is where this talk gets a little bit corny. But oh, well, what to do? I'm just gonna hit. Here's where they stay in your heart. They stay in your mind for however long you want them to be there. Because I do know that once you meet with someone who you share something with, like let's say a bond, a connection, what else, you converse with them, you get to know them as a person, and you know, spend more time with them. That thing doesn't just go away, with a snap of a finger like that. The stuff that they talk to you about, the advice that you shared with one another, getting to know each other's problems, giving solutions to each other's problems, being there for one another, and having those things will stay with you because whenever you go back into that path that you were supposed to go to, that leads you to your end goal, whatever it is, obstacles that you face along the way are gonna challenge you to tap into those things that the certain person told you about, the certain person advised you on, the certain person warned you about, so that you can be ready to face them once they arise. It's essentially learning from one another. You can learn a lot from just listening to someone talk about their life. You know how they overcome certain obstacles, how they overcome certain objects and barriers in their life to get where they are now. And they learn something from you as well. We always take away something from someone, whether it be, like I said, advice, lessons, or just an experience overall. But going back to the analogy of the road thing, after you diverge on that long road, sub chapter, you ultimately go back to the path which you started on in the first place. And from there, moving forward, when you're almost there at the finish line, like you're right there, you tend to look back, at any moment or any given time, you'll tend to look back and then, you'll rewind, take a few U-turns, take a few roundabouts, take a few trips down memory lane, going back, reliving the moments that meant so much to you. And at times, I think, well, I can't speak for everyone, but I'm just going to speak for myself, is that at times I get choked up when I do that because, just seeing the people that you've been with, people that you've met, people are, that hung out with, talked to, experienced things with, you know, uh, and ultimately, people who you still are with right now, and the person you've become as a whole, from where you were from point A to where you are now at point B, and to the person when you were, who you were when you were like 5 or just a little baby to who you are now. You know, it's it's a really surprising journey. It's a really, you know, wake up call when you really just look back at who you were before and who you are now. At times you might not see a change in yourself, but always taking that step back or that quote unquote U-turn that I just did now in the stock really will really show you how much you've grown as a person. And eventually, you'll reach the finish line and your path is complete. And of course, it's not that easy, it's not that fast. Just like roads, there's gonna be roadblocks, there's gonna be accidents, there's gonna be traffic jams. They're gonna slow you down for a while in your path, but you'll get there eventually. And like I said in the beginning of this talk, wise man once said, enjoy the journey, not the destination. And so yeah, I guess that's what we have to do. Just enjoy the journey that we're on right now. When we reach the destination, we look back, we'll see a life that hopefully we're all happy and fulfilled with. But anyways, that's all for this talk, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching again. And hope you have a great day. See ya. Bye bye.